The Mega Absol Kangaskhan deck took the Milwaukee Regional Championships by storm, created by the legendary Tord Reklev. But what if I told you there was another Mega Kangaskhan based deck that made quite the splash as well? Eric Brown took second in the seniors division, and his two friends Lucas Z and Lucas G took 11th and 12th respectively. I sat down with the three of them to talk about the ideation process for creating the deck and how you can apply this to your own deck building. Enjoy the video.
Both players see the writing on the wall here in the finals.
What is going on, TCG enjoyers? I'm here with some of the brightest young minds in the game, and they are going to walk through their rogue deck they played to the Milwaukee Regional Championship. They took 2 spots in top 16 and 1 was second place. So I'm really excited to discuss this with them. If you haven't been able to tell yet, they're all from the seniors division. So we're going to be talking to them about innovation in seniors, what it's like to play there, and hopefully they can give some advice to some of our younger players, and also for masters, you guys can take some lessons away. So why don't we start with introducing yourselves? I'll start with Eric.
Yeah, I'm Eric. I'm a second year senior. And I'm 13, and the rapid fire combo.
Nice. All right, which Lucas wants to go next?
I can start.
Okay.
So I'm Lucas G, and this is my second year playing in seniors, but it's my last year, and I'm 15. Yeah, and Kangaskhan was pretty good. I think it was a good choice.
Okay, cool. And then our last Lucas.
I'm Lucas Z. This is my third year. I'm a third year senior. Wow, I'm old. And Sudowoodo carried.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sure we'll get to all the cards in the deck. So, yeah, I guess my first question for you guys is, how did you come up with this deck? Was this a collaborative process? Did one person come up with it and you guys refined it as a group? So I'd love to hear about that, like coming up with the idea and how you guys refined it as a group together.
Mm-hmm.
Take this, guys.
Yeah. So let's whenever a new set comes out and it's going to be legal, you want to go over all the cards and see if any of them are going to be good. So I was doing that, and I thought Kangaskhan looked pretty strong, but I was also really burnt out from Worlds. So I didn't do much testing, but I was just talking about it and analyzing megas with one of my friends, and we thought this card would be good, but I didn't go any further. And then Lucas sent me this list, a Kangaskhan list, and he's like, "This is really strong." And I played it once, and it kind of astounded me, and so I was already down because I'd already been toying with it. And so yeah, I think we have to credit Lucas C with the base deck list, and then we changed 5-6 cards to refine the matchups.
Okay, so then Lucas, Lucas Z, I guess, let me ask you, how did you come up with this idea? What was going through your mind when you put the Kangaskhan combo together?
Basically, the whole idea behind it was I was looking at the card pool, and I'm like, man, you can attach Charmed Kang, put the Bouffalants down, which is effectively plus 60 for each attack they do. So 410, 470 is a really big number. That's really broken. You can abuse that in so many different ways with Munkidoris. So that's kind of where the original idea started from.
Okay, cool. So I guess when you guys made this, or maybe Lucas, I'll start with you, and then you guys can tell me about your refinement process. What matchups were you targeting? So obviously, whenever you make a rogue-ish deck, the whole idea is you're countering the meta. You're trying to counter the best decks. So what about this deck made you think it was well-positioned in the meta?
I had a pretty good Gardevoir matchup, and I had a pretty good Dragapult matchup, because of Munkidori, and they couldn't really do much damage, and you just target a bunch of stuff.
Okay. So let's talk about that a little bit. So you guys had good Gardevoir matchup. So I know you guys have Sudowoodo. Is that the idea of why you have a good Gardevoir matchup?
Sudowoodo is kind of basically it was for the Mega Guardy decks. If they tunnel vision too hard onto the Mega Guardy, then they put all their energy into play, you can maybe trap a Munkidori. But it wasn't the main idea of the matchup. The main idea of the matchup was just set up a really big Kangaskhan. They might Scream Tail, they might do all this stuff to your bench, but they're not targeting down the main attacker. And if they punch you, because they're never one-shotting, then you just throw back a bunch of damage at them.
Okay.
And generally, it's fundamentally strong. We had good matchups into stuff, but Kangaskhan as a card, as we're saying, the numbers are just insane, and drawing 2 every turn basically means your deck is going to be 50 cards, because you open it and you get 2 cards every turn. So you're just playing a smaller deck than everyone else, so you're more likely to not brick or whatever.
Okay, that makes sense. So I guess is the idea against Dragapult that you guys are just such a tanky guy and you have the monkeys to push it back? Same idea?
Mm-hmm. And you race them, like you run them off the board. Like the quad boss, you go second, you energize, and you're just KOing all their cloaks, or they never get a Noir into play and they just lose, basically.
Okay. Let me ask you this. So a lot of people see Kangaskhan in the attack. It involves flipping coins. How important is flipping like a heads or two with this deck? Or are you guys fine if Kangaskhan just had 200 no flipping, would it be okay still? Or are there some matchups where you need some of those coin flips to go your way?
I think it's like fine because like you just do 200 and then you boss KO next turn. Like if they, it doesn't really matter if they're never one-shotting you, right? So they, like even if you just punch 200, it's like completely fine.
Okay. So it's more the idea that Kangaskhan is like such a tank. So like you just have like high roll potential if you flip a bunch of heads, but if you don't, it's okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, so
I think
go ahead.
I rolled like 3 dice in my run. And none of them mattered the outcome. Like most of the time I was just KOing the small stuff or you punch. And like if you flip heads, you just get lucky and it increases your EV by some small amount, but you don't really need it. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So you guys said you so Lucas Z had the original concept. You guys changed 5 or 6 cards. So Lucas, I guess what was the original concept and what did you guys kind of refine? And maybe talk me through why you refined some of those cards.
Wait, let me pull up the original list. Basically, it had Clefairy. It was really bad. So the core concept of beating of like having this really big tanky guy in the active was still there. The thing is, it was using a lot of different alternate attackers, which just like was really bad. So eventually the list we settled on kind of just committed fully to the Kangaskhan, right? Because we had Clefairy in there, which was like kind of good for Raging Bolt, but kind of garbage into everything else. Like you never really use it into the Dragapult matchup. And it had like Town Store, but the thing is you're so consistent anyways that you always have your tools. But other than that, the list was actually really similar to what we have now. It didn't play Sudowoodo, but that was just like a dumb idea.
It also didn't have Bloodmoon, I think, which was kind of big.
Yeah, Bloodmoon seems insane to be at the end of the game for you guys. Like you can just penny loop that thing with Bravery Charm. It has basically how much 370 or something with the Bouffalant. So Bloodmoon definitely seems insane with Boof and Penny. Okay, one card I wanted to ask you guys about. What about these Risky Ruins? What decks is this card for?
This is for the Gardevoir matchup.
Yeah, so like when they put 80 on Screamtail and you have no damage on your board, when they kill your Boof, you go bench Boof, Ricky Ruins, and then you move 20 and you kill the Screamtail.
Okay, I see. Interesting. A little spice there. So how are you guys finding the Risky Ruins? Is it you have to use the secret box for it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you hold your secret box in that. So yeah, that's actually kind of where I want to go next. You guys played secret box as the ace spec. I know we'll talk about it in a bit. The Absol deck plays the trolley. So kind of talk me through Secret Box. Why is that the ace spec of choice for this deck? And did you guys consider any other ace specs?
We were really thinking of like playing. I remember there was like a few days before the tournament, Lucas messaged me and he's like, I don't really like Secret Box. But the thing is, Secret Box is just so consistent. Like on turn 1, if your setup is bad, you can always get a full board because you have the Fan Rotom and the Artisan in there. If Fan Rotom wasn't a card, I could probably see playing Trolley. But the thing is, Fan Rotom is just so good at getting all your Bouffalants out. And you don't really need that much on turn 1.
Okay. So it's just guarantees a good setup is the idea.
Yeah.
So did you guys consider any other ace specs? Like maybe, like you said Trolley, but maybe something like a Prime Catcher, Unfair Stamp, anything like that?
We didn't really look at Prime Catcher on Fair Stamp. I was trying to think about Scoop Up Cyclone, but I think both of them were pretty set on Secret Box, and I guess I see the light now, because it's just like the ultimate enabler. Like, you want to do anything, you have Secret Box, you do the thing. And most of the time when you do the thing, you win.
Nice. Cool. Okay, so we kind of said that like Guardian's a good matchup, Dragapult's a good matchup. What are some of the decks you guys like didn't want to face with this deck?
Mega Lucario.
Okay.
That's the boogeyman.
Okay, I don't think Mega Lucario really existed, so that was good calling your part. What about stuff like that can one-shot, like Ceruledge, Raging Bolt? Do you guys have any issues with those type of decks?
Raging Bolt is pretty fine because the numbers are just so big that they can never do it back-to-back. and we just flipped the prize race on them. Like, we were kind of scared originally, which is why I think Lucas originally had the Lillie's Clefairy, but we figured that we tested it and we found out that like just 410 is way too much for them to deal with, especially if we go in with Bloodmoon afterwards. And then I think Ceruledge was a bit sketchy. Neither me or Lucas hit any, but Eric did, so I think maybe you can talk about that. But I think the Sudowoodo was pretty good for that, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, they're doing, like, no damage, like, early game. And then in my game, too, they just discarded, like, all their movement and just pseudoed their Squawkabilly.
Okay. They didn't play Turro. Oh, so they just discarded Turro and they got chopped. Okay. I mean, I guess if your Kangaskhan is 410, they actually have to put all energy except one in the discard to one-shot it. So that is actually kind of tricky. So I guess they do have to two-shot. I mean, they play Legacy Energy, and I guess they can maybe try to manipulate some of the prizes. But I can see it actually being pretty difficult to get through the Kangaskhan for sure. So, okay, so you guys think that overall it's still well positioned in the meta then? There's nothing crazy that can beat this deck. What about the Absol deck? Because I think Terminal Period might be a bit tricky for Kangaskhan.
Yeah, going forward, I don't think this is really the best play because, like you said, the Terminal Period is kind of... Because you can, like, punch into the Absol, right? But then they just throw back a bunch of damage at you and Terminal Period your guy, and then they take 3. So, yeah, going forward, I don't really think this is the best idea. Like, we were kind of looking at other options going forward.
Okay, well, the Mega Absol deck, like, they play, like, a couple Mist Energies. You guys not think you could just throw Mist Energy in this deck and, like, kind of solve that issue?
You have no outs to it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess the Absol deck also has no outs to it, and they somehow draw it.
I mean, they're playing 2 of them, I guess. And basic energies are just always better, though.
Yeah.
Like,
you guys play Crispin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Switch.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you guys draw so many cards, though, right, with, like, the Kangaskhan, I guess maybe you guys have some time to get it, right? You can also just draw a pass against that matchup until you draw it.
That's true.
So, I don't know, maybe you guys are right, but I don't know, I feel like you guys could probably just throw a couple Mist Energy in here and probably fix that.
Yeah, or do you just Chain Boss?
Yeah, and just don't leave damage on their board.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can boss Pekara and you can boss Latias, those are definitely coming down. So, I don't know, I haven't played that matchup, obviously, but I don't think it's as chalked as you're saying, Lucas. Or it's definitely fixable. Okay, so I guess that's my next question then, actually. Let's talk about the Mega Absol deck. So, it's kind of a similar concept to what you guys did. What are your guys' thoughts on the Mega Absol deck compared to your deck?
Why are they so puny? What are these numbers? They're tiny.
Yeah.
Like, it leans in more into the control strategy, which is interesting. Like, the discarding is kind of different. And I mean, I was originally scared when I saw this list because it's like, oh shoot, we had this secret deck and now people are playing something similar. But what we came to and the conclusion is that, like, fundamentally the decks are kind of different in that ours is just trying to be a tank and they're trying to more control your resources. So, like, that was kind of good. And it's kind of maybe different game plans, I'd say, between them.
Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense. They definitely do feel very, very different. For sure. Like, they have the Lively Stadium as their kind of Bouffalant card, but obviously, like, Lively Stadium's a lot weaker in the sense that it's just a stadium that can't replace. It's a lower number. And yeah, they definitely lean more into the Absol and Eviltal strat for sure. Did you guys see in the Brazil regional that someone also got top 8 with basically like a similar idea as you guys with like the Kangaskhan deck? But they did play Precious Trolley as their A-spec. There was a couple other differences. There's Psyduck here. There's Baby Genesect. They have Lively Stadium as well, so even more tankiness. What were your guys' thoughts on this list?
I think it's okay. It's just Fan Rotom is like really good.
Okay.
And they don't play Sudowoodo either. Like there's not much like element of surprise.
Okay. So you think the Sudowoodo definitely elevates a lot to the deck. So do you think Sudowoodo, you guys had it like going into a matchup, like your main plan is Sudowoodo, or was it a card where like your opponent just messes up and benches something and you just like get him with the Sudowoodo?
Yeah, it's more of like the second thing that you said. It's more of if they just mess up, then we have like a chance in the matchup. Like, for example, in my round 4 against Dragapult, I was like completely losing. They knocked out my Kangaskhan. They had this huge Dusknoir turn, but I was able to swing it back by bossing Latias, benching the Sudowoodo, attaching, and then just setting up and using that time to set up another Kangaskhan to put me back in the game.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, I think what we kind of realized is if you look at our deck, there's 2 fighting Pokemon, and both of these Pokemon, like, they don't really make sense in terms of the fundamental strategy of making a tanky Bouffalant, but they just, like, they're good cards, and they give you so much win rate into a bunch of random matchups. Like Pseudo, as Lucas was saying, you just win some random games. Like, I hit a Crustle, and I won against the Crustle, because I could impound the Munkidori. And the same is true of fighting Ogerpon. Like, you have this card in your deck, you just add, like, 5% to your win rate for 1 deck slot, and the deck kind of works already, and you have draw power and charging, and you have energy acceleration, so it just fits in there, and then you win more games than you lose.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess the only thing is, I guess with Sudowoodo is like you can't do what the Absol deck does, where you damage yourself with Peck-a-Runt. So I guess you can't just like generate damage. But I see what you guys are saying, where it buys you a lot of time, or if your opponent has like less cards already than you can just trap them for sure. So one other card that was in this list that you guys don't play is the Psyduck. So I think maybe with Charizard winning, like, do you guys think Psyduck is a card to consider in the future? Do you think it would improve that matchup a lot, or do you guys feel fine into the Dusknoir decks without it?
Noir is fine without it. Charizard, we were a little bit scared if they were playing Dusknoir, but we kind of made the meta call that most of them wouldn't play Dusknoir because of the release of Psyduck. In the future, probably you should want Psyduck. I don't know. Eric, I didn't play any Charizards though. I think Eric did.
I didn't play any Zards.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess against Zard, they can Dusknoir the Bouffalant, but then that's probably still not enough damage to take a knockout. I guess they have to do it on your active. I mean, it still takes them a while actually to ramp up to knock out the Kangaskhan, but it definitely feels like if you have Psyduck, like it's almost impossible for them to get the Kangaskhan out. Okay. So yeah, I guess if I asked you guys going forward, what are some changes you guys would consider, or would you just leave the list as it is?
Like you said,
Go.
Go ahead.
No, I didn't have really go. You do.
Okay. Like you said, like Mist going forward could be pretty good. You could also like the Zard matchup. I played it in the Tournament of Doom twice, and I got like completely rolled. I think I was also playing bad because I was really exhausted also. But the Psyduck could be good for the Zard matchup. It's just like the Dusknoir is they're just kind of like get in the way of what you're trying to do. So I could see playing Psyduck.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it really.
Okay, so Psyduck's the one card I missed. Okay. Eric or other Lucas, any cards you guys would consider?
So we think we thought Guardy was favored going into the event, and this is mostly because nobody had any idea what to do into us. So it was like pretty good, but as you may have noticed, like Eric's run ended in finals to Guardy. Lucas lost to Guardy in the winning into top 8. So it maybe wasn't as good as we were saying. And so the consideration would be potentially to add like more pennies, or the day before when we were considering like the last stadium slot, because actually originally we were playing Lively Stadium, but I really didn't think Lively Stadium would help us in any way. So we switched it to Risky Ruins to help with Guardy, but the other card we were considering was Festival Grounds, because this gets rid of confusion. And so that was our main problem with the Guardy matchup. So I don't know, Lucas, you want to talk about how you lost your win into top 8?
Yeah, 5 confusion flips in a row. I didn't get to flip a single coin for rapid fire combo. It was all confusion. That was also on me because I bench locked myself, so I couldn't bench the Latias retreat and then penny it up. But yeah, 5 confusion flips. Like by the end of it, I was at 1 prize card left. So like I don't know, it might have changed the matchup, but like maybe like 1 or 2 of them hitting heads would have been nice.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Mist Energy would also help with the Munkidori, I guess. That confusion flip. For sure. Okay, super interesting. Okay, I guess the next topic I wanted to talk about, I guess now that we're kind of like down with the deck list, is how did you guys feel comfortable playing a rogue deck? I know a lot of people, you know, like they want to play established meta. If you're playing a rogue, you have nothing to go off of. You're kind of just trusting your intuition. So let's talk about that. Were you guys nervous, or like did you guys just really trust your testing process and really thought you had something good here?
Yeah, like at first, like we like didn't like fully believe it, but then like the week before we started like fully testing it. But then the day before, like Lucas and I were like, I have a bad feeling about this deck, but then we just went with it.
Okay.
The both of them were very scared. Like the night before, they did not. It was a lot of me pressuring them into doing it. And on my part, I was basically like, let me just play a deck. I've bailed already. Might as well play something interesting. And I don't know, we met at Worlds, right? You were staying with Camille, and I just played Camille's list, and I kind of bailed, and I got mad at myself because I had like ideas. I had stuff I wanted to play, but I didn't do that, and it just feels so bad when you play not your deck and then you lose. So at this point, I felt like I'm gonna play the deck that I made. I think it's strong. Let's just prove it, and it was pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, other Lucas, any other thoughts or no?
For me, it was either we're gonna play this or we're gonna play Dragapult. And pretty early on into the Mega format, I'm like, well, Dragapult sucks. I don't want to play Dragapult. So I put like no hours into it. So, I mean, it was kind of my only option from that point. So I felt bad about it, but I'm like, you know what? Just play it. It's fine.
Okay. And how much of an edge did you guys feel you had because your opponents didn't really know what your deck was? So they probably haven't practiced against it.
It's like, it was pretty big. Like the thing is, into like my Dango opponents and like a bunch of opponents, like the Cornerstone really caught them off guard. And the fact that we were just setting up this really big Pokemon with the Sudowoodo also was just like, I think it kind of caught them off guard. So it was a really big advantage. But even into most matchups, even if they knew what we were doing, it was pretty difficult for them to win regardless.
I think it was like very noticeable in day one. Like none of my opponents had any idea what we were doing, and it was pretty free. The toughest round that I had was against this guy playing Arcaludon who like knew nothing about the meta, and I kind of yeah, he had the Mega Mawile, which I wasn't expecting. So my Cornerstone just got cooked. I pulled out a tie somehow. I don't remember. I think I cheesed him with Bloodmoon or whatever because he was kind of new at this game. But this was the hardest round I had, and everyone else who was playing meta decks or like knew stuff about the meta was completely unprepared for what we were doing. Yeah, and we kind of ran them over. And then in day two, we were at the top tables. Like me and Lucas were third and fourth, and people had been scouting us. And then it got a little bit harder, I'd say, because they kind of got some lines. But deck was good. Eric played it well, and still went far.
Nice. Yeah, what about you, Eric? Did you find, I guess, because you went all the way to the finals, did you find that on the way up that a lot of the rounds, like, you got to take advantage of some unfamiliarity?
Yeah, like none of my opponents knew the deck. Like whenever I opened like Kangaskhan or something, they thought I was like Pink Terror Box. Like it was like very like surprising to them, I guess.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. Did any of your guys' opponents think you guys were playing the Absol deck? Because actually most people knew what the Absol deck was going into this tournament.
Because you talk about this one.
My Zoroark opponent in round 7, I think, he thought I was playing the Absol, so he never attacked my Cornerstone with his Cornerstone because he was really scared of me going terminal period and winning the game. So he basically just lost because he was too scared to attack.
That's funny.
Which was pretty fun.
I mean, I assume if you play this at a tournament going forward and you start with Kangaskhan, your opponent will assume you're playing the Absol deck for sure. Maybe once you get the Bouffalants, they'll notice switch it up, but definitely super funny for that. So, yeah, okay, so you guys said that maybe going forward you might not play this deck. Is there other decks in the meta you think are good, or would you guys try and make this work to keep playing it?
So the way you would make this work is you cut all of the energy, and then you cut all of the Pokemon except for Kangaskhan, and you max out on the pennies.
Okay, so you play like pure tank.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so why do you guys think that's the future?
Maybe.
Maybe? There's some disagreement.
You go like Mist Energy, Wally's Compassion,
Crushing Hammer.
really big Kangaskhan.
Exactly.
I don't think this is the way, Lucas.
It's probably not good.
Okay, so tell me though why you guys think something like that would be better. Like, what are you guys trying to target with those changes?
You have a free Dragapult matchup.
Isn't the Dragapult matchup already free? You guys are telling me.
Yeah, but like
You have lost conditions right now, though.
Yeah. So it was very free because basically no one knew, except for actually if you go back to Eric's page, Hoenn. So he was in the group chat making the Kangaskhan deck, and then he deserted us like 3 days before the event to play Pult. But he had practiced the Pult lines with us, and he was scared about the matchup. So he knew the lines, and into him it was a little sketchy. I think. Wait, Lucas, did you lose to him? Yeah, that was Lucas's only loss in day one. So they have lines, and it revolves about an itchy pollen and you bricking, which is, that's...
Well, that's how Dragapult wins.
Yeah. So it's a little scary, but it's pretty free right now, but you can make it more free with no energies and pennies.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think going forward, we saw Poltnar drop to probably its lowest meta percentage we've seen in a really long time. In Masters, it was 7%. In Seniors, you guys had still 10%. That's lower than I know it normally is. So is it worth it, though, to reconstruct your whole deck just for a matchup that's kind of falling off a little bit?
No.
Okay.
It was mostly sarcastic.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so if anyone wants to try this deck, what would you say is can you guys give me a 1-minute quick guide to them, what they need to know about playing this deck? Someone just wants to copy, they watch this video, they want to copy this list, plug it into live.
Turbo Energize and then Rapid Fire combo.
Okay, that's simple?
Set up monkeys into some matchups, just corner pawn them and they probably just lose. Set up corner pawn and just set up a really big guy.
And avoid pre-benching monkeys if you don't need to into Guardy. Just go Boof, Kang, and Energize. And then you just attack and you hit the boss each turn and you kill the strongest part of their board. So against Dragapult, if they have a cloak with an energy on it, you just kill the cloak. And then they lose because they don't do anything. Yeah. It's like if you're playing Screamtail with Guardy, but instead it's boss.
Okay, instead it's boss. I like it. Cool. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to ask you guys. I think you guys did a really good job of highlighting the deck, your creative process, all that good stuff. Are there any questions I didn't ask you guys that you guys want me to ask about this deck? Or you want to just shout out about this deck?
I think so.
No? Okay.
What?
Were you going to say something, Lucas? No?
No.
Okay. Cool. All right, well...
You can play 2 Psychic Energy if you want to go to locals and you know that your locals play the Mega Lucario, because now you can Latias CX them.
You can Eon Blade, so if you play against that Golden Go Lucario deck, you can Eon Blade.
Exactly.
Hey, cool, I like it. Adjusting to the local meta. All right, well, awesome. I really appreciate you guys sharing your knowledge with all the viewers here. Before we go, I'll give you guys the floor each. You can shout out whatever you want. So I'll start with Eric.
Shout out the rapid fire combo and shout out Carter.
Okay, I like it. All right, Lucas, you're next.
Shout out all my friends and my parents, and my sibling also. Mm-hmm.
I will echo that. Oh, and shout out Joseph Bridges.
Okay, great. Shout out to all these people. Good stuff. All right, well, I appreciate you guys coming on. If you guys enjoyed the content, please consider liking and subscribe. I do my best to promote educational stuff. I'll put the link to their deck list in the description below if you want to try it. Best of luck in all your games, and I will catch you guys next time.